Hi, good afternoon. Bruce Lindholm with Realty Group. Today I wanted to start a series of videos on taking a buyer through the steps or what to expect for a purchase. The first one is, of course, selecting your agent. And being that this is going out to our people for the most part, you've selected us. So the first step is over with. But you really want to find someone, and I'm going to just briefly talk about this. You really want to find someone who you can work with, who you can trust, and has your best interest at heart. And also, of course, negotiating that knows the business and can find you the right home. This is a big purchase, and there's a lot of money on the line, if you will, if the purchase isn't correct. Our goal, Gina and I, our goal is to always look to the future for resale and make sure that you will potentially make money down the road. So we're going to avoid homes that potentially are unique. They may be quaint and you love them, but we're going to point out the fact that this may not be the easiest to resell at some point, or it'll take a while, or you may not get the best dollar amount. Or even situations. You look out the back window, and in some neighborhoods, there's a pole building, a factory type building. And again, that is not going to be something that every person would want to see when you go to resell it. So anyway, so you've already selected someone, and like I said, this is going to our clients for the most part. So you've selected us. So the next step would be is to sit down, and we're going to hammer out what you want in a home from locations. And if you tell me you want to live only in Blaine, we're going to talk about is just over the border of Blaine okay? Is it the school district you want? Is it just the community? So you only want your address to say Blaine. For example, on the north side you have Ham Lake. Lots tend to be a little bigger. It's just a tad more rural, a growing area. Prices are a little bit less, for example. On the south side, you have, I'm trying to think, your Circle Pines. You get into actually probably close to the northern part of Mounds View. And again, things will change on pricing and that. So that'll be the first thing, is narrow down where we want to be. From there, we're going to ask you to start out with a little more generic on some of the items that you'd be interested in. For example, you might need a fence. We're going to tell you, let's not put that in the search. Let's look at homes with or without. Let's not be quite that specific until we get into it a little more, or find out that maybe our initial search shows 250 homes. Well, that's too much. So then we can start adding those things. But let's start out a little broader, then we're going to narrow it down. We'll get your search started. It'll be coming from MLS, the real MLS, not the fake one where they have names that are calling themselves the MLS but aren't truly the MLS. And let's face it, anything that isn't the MLS is most likely a private real estate company who wants to capture your information and then try to sell it to one of their people that subscribe to their service. So we get it set up. You're going to receive it daily for the most part. If there's no homes that are new that match your criteria, either price point or bedrooms, or how many bathrooms or garage stalls, whatever it may be, if there's nothing that changes, you may not see a search one day. However, you're going to get a search most likely daily. And then from there, what you'll want to do is narrow it down to, say, 12 homes. And from that 12, we'll see if we can book 6 at a time. Any more than 6, we have found that it gets a little overwhelming for our people, and they just kind of lose the enjoyment of it. And it can, depend on how close they are, you can be up to 3 hours or so. And that's a long time that you may have to carve out. We want it to be an enjoyable time. You need to be assessing these homes, and we don't want it so you're tired out and just not enjoying it and not paying attention anymore, because this is, again, a big process for you. From there, if there's houses that you like, and you're a little more serious, we're going to go back and take a second look. Of course, this will depend on how hot that market is. If it's really a hot market, we may have to write an offer based on seeing it once. We have actually written offers for clients that never saw the house. The first time they saw it was during the inspection. This is not the ideal, but at times when the market is popping, that may have to be the case. Again, this is not something we prefer. We want you to have the time to review that house, see it, and decide whether it's the right one or not. So I guess that's pretty much it. So recapping, what we would do again is sit down, find all your criteria for a home, not get too detailed to start unless we have too many homes, and then these searches are going to start coming to you, and then whittle them down to a handful, about 12 or so. We'll look at those, we'll get some information for you, we'll select our best 6 that we want to see, and then we're going to set up appointments. That's it for today. We'll get you on the next video. We'll take it to the next step. Thank you.